All right, so today is Thursday, July 14th. Holy crap, it's July 14th. I can't believe it's already that far into July. So, Summit is in 2 weeks. That is the big event in Nashville. I will be going with my husband, and it will be the release weekend of Country Heat, Autumn Calabrese's new workout program. There will be tons of announcements coming out that weekend, so definitely make sure to pay attention to the team Facebook page. I'll be posting all the announcements like a crazy person. And then starting August 1st, I have a 4-week diamond training that I am going to be co-hosting with another coach. So there will be coaches from our team as well as another team. It is a phenomenal training, 4-week training. It's pretty intense-ish. It's as intense as you want it to be, but it's a great training. I got it from an elite coach. She's currently a 12-star diamond coach. So we're going to be using some of her videos and some of her training there. But I'm really excited about it because it's fresh material, it's new material, and I really think it's going to help because I feel like we've been stagnant and I'm not sure how to shake things up. Also, coming out of Summit, you'll see a lot. It will help you gain a lot of traction even if you're not there, because there will be literally 20,000 people posting about Summit. So that's a great weekend to make sure that you're visible as a coach. And by that, I mean, consistently posting, but also sharing about the coach experience, because that's a great, coming off of Summit is a great way to get new coaches to sign on. So even if you haven't made a dime as a Beachbody coach, you can talk about your transformation story, how coaching makes you more accountable to your groups, any personal development. If you have a transformation story, you'll definitely want to touch on that during that weekend because there will be a lot of traffic coming from it, even if you're not there. So definitely pay attention as that stuff starts coming out. And I think that was it. But tonight we have Nicole presenting. She is one of our newer coaches, but she has found her niche market already, and it's only a matter of time before she starts soaring through this business. So if she's ready, I'm going to go ahead and let her take over. And this is being recorded, so it will be posted in the team page tomorrow morning. So Nicole, if you are ready, if you want to do a short little intro of who you are, how you got started with Beachbody, and then go ahead and dive into your presentation, that would be awesome.
Okay, so hello everybody. I am Nicole, obviously. Stephanie just introduced me. So I started with Beachbody really because I just wanted to kind of find something for myself. And I think, and persistence really paid off on Stephanie's end in the sincerity and the genuineness. And I think that, that's something that I have kind of done with myself and made a lot of connections. When I had first started, which has only been about, a couple months ago. So I really started off really, really motivated, but I wasn't really as focused as I thought that I was. So I was really focusing on building my network. So I really didn't have a ton of friends on Facebook. I really didn't know how to kind of target what I wanted to target. So I ended up getting a ton of friends, building up that network and tons of friends and everything. But I wasn't really gaining anything. I wasn't getting any really feedback. I was having great conversations and things, but nobody was really like interested. And so I was trying to kind of figure out how to do that. One of the reasons that I was finding that is because I wasn't able to kind of hold myself accountable, because my tracking wasn't really great. And I had done a lot of looking at the forms that, Beachbody had, and I had taken, kind of Stephanie's advice and, using kind of a spreadsheet. One of the things that I struggled with was because I am on the go all the time. I have a crazy schedule with 3 kids working, going to school, and that's where I was really struggling, is finding that time and to try to kind of really, track everything. Like I'd send out an invite, but the follow-up wasn't really great, or the follow-up was too late. And so one of the things that I came up with is basically, the Google Docs was really helpful. So I started doing Google Docs. I alphabetized all of the people that I've had contact with. So it's kind of user-friendly. It helps out. And then I was running into a lot of, even building my network, I was running into a lot of people who were either already Beachbody coaches or were coaches for other products. And kind of how do I get out of that? Because now I have a huge network, but now now I'm targeting people that are already there. So I'm not really building my network. So, and people that are interested in what I have to offer. So I found a new kind of method that has been really helpful, and I'm just starting to kind of get some traction in people that are really interested in asking what I'm doing and having conversations more geared towards that. So I took the couple of people that, because I was using, which I had YouTubed, I YouTubed everything and how do I build my network. And one of the suggestions is going through the list of people you may know, which was helpful. It got me a ton of people in there, but it wasn't really towards the market that I wanted. So what do I do now? Because now I have, a ton of people that I'm posting to, but nobody's really interested. So what I did was I took the few people that I've had really good conversations with that are within my target market, which is, people who are like me, who are really busy, who need to find that time to balance their schedules, who are, in school and just juggling crazy schedules, kids, working, and just wanting to have that moment or even just that time of day for yourself. And then trying to kind of figure out a way how to use that and make money off of it. So I took a couple of people that have those similar kind of things that I've had relatively good conversations with, and I went through what they're friends with and their common friends and who I may know. And that has really helped me. The other thing too is that I was finding that I was struggling with in that initial beginning, being a new coach, is having that initial conversation with people who might not know me and are asking me why I'm giving them a friend request. So having that kind of commonality with the friends, I make sure that the people that I am friend requesting have at least 10 more friends, 10 friends in common, and then I immediately add them to my spreadsheet that I have. On the spreadsheet, I don't know how to make it a video. It would be much easier if I'll try to describe it the best way that I can. I have the name of the person, the contact forum. Right now I'm focusing on Facebook because it's the easiest to navigate, but I always cross-post. So anything that I post on Instagram and Twitter as well. I've also kind of explored LinkedIn a little bit. That's been really helpful. I've had a little bit of some kind of, not a whole lot of traffic there, but a little bit, mainly building the network really on that. The date of contact, any comments for follow-up, and the recommended program if there is one for the person, or whether it's if I recommend them for coaching. I took it one step further because I was finding, okay, well, I might have talked to somebody in May, but they, and the conversation didn't really go well, or maybe it was an awkward conversation and the follow-up would be really difficult, and I'm struggling with that. I highlighted people. So people who are Beachbody coaches, I highlighted. People who are Herbalife coaches, I highlighted a different color. Anybody who I have contacted within the last week, I highlighted, and then people in the last 2 weeks, so that I can really look at them and reference and say, okay, these are the people that I know I need to follow up with right away. And that's really helped me. It's helped me to be able to do a quick glance, especially for time saving, because I can do it from my phone or I can do it from my computer. And especially where I'm running kids to practice or running kids to camp and then working and, having to manage a staff team at my full-time job as well, and then having to come home and try to run a household, it can be really, really tiring. And I was finding that I wasn't having enough time and I was becoming very discouraged. So I needed something that I can quick glance at, look at what I need to do, and then send that quick, follow-up, or, okay, send them the link that I need to send them to. The other thing that I was really struggling with is, okay, just prioritizing what I need to do. I know, Stephanie, you had posted a video on priorities. It was really, really helpful, and it really gave me a reality check and saying, okay, what are my priorities? I really need to do that. And it was able to kind of give me what I needed to get back on track and focus. I set reminders on my phone for posting and the kind of post that I want it to be. So I typically try to work out in the morning. It's not a definite every single day. Sometimes I have to work out at night because I just didn't have time in the morning. But I try to make sure that that's what I'm posting. And then I always try to make that my midday post something about like lunch or snack or water, taking in water, something about nutrition. And then at the end of the night, I always try to make sure that I have a post of a personal thing. That's kind of been my thing right now, and it seems to be working at this moment because it's the most traction that I've gotten, and it seems to be helping me stay consistent, which I initially had kind of struggled with because my time was all over the place. I don't really know if there's anything else. I mean, I wish I could kind of show you what I did more than just try and describe it.
No, that was very, very helpful. So I love the tracking system. Maybe you can screenshot it and share it in the group.
Okay.
I do have a couple questions, if that's all right.
No, that's fine.
Okay. So when you are adding people to your Facebook page, for friend requesting them,
yeah.
Are you looking for just at least 10 mutual friends, or are you looking for more commonalities besides that?
So initially I was just going through the list of people who I might know that had 10 mutual friends, which I was finding got me into a large group of people that were not interested or were already in a program, already working with coaches or already a coach. I was having great conversations but not getting anywhere. So what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to take a person that I know is not a coach, that's not in a program, that has common things that are in common with what I'm looking to target, what my target is. And I'm going to look at their friend list, because what I was doing is really just trying to add friends. Like I was adding like 50 people in a day, and that built me up really big. And then I was getting nowhere. So now I'm more focused on, okay, I'm going to take the one person that has commonalities with me, and then I'm going to look at their friend or their friends and see if then I look at, okay, they have 10 mutual friends. Because out of those 10 mutual friends, they might have people that are common, and I go through their friend list, and anybody who has 10 mutual friends, and it might be 10, it might be 15. That's how I kind of have done it. I mean, it seems to be working a little bit better than initially just, okay, let me add like 10 or 15 people or 50 people. I was initially working on the number as opposed to trying to find somebody that has more common in with what I'm targeting. So
Okay.
I don't know if that answered your
No,
question.
it does. And I had a follow-up. What was my follow-up? Crap. So how are you? Oh, here. Okay, I remember it now. So generally, how long does it take you to quote unquote work Beachbody each day? How much time do you think you're spending on it on average?
So that was, and I think that was a big struggle for me because I was focused on, I'm like, I really want to try and spend a lot of time. And honestly, like, I don't have a lot of time to spare each day. So one of the actual, like, the coach calls, I had actually, taken, I can't remember who it was, but she had talked about initially, like, her first few years, it was like 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes here. My goal is 30 minutes every day, which I definitely have found that I definitely go above and beyond that, but a minimum of 30 minutes a day, because on a busy day, sometimes that's really hard to get. And sometimes I might only be able to do posts that day, and I might only be able to send out maybe 3 invites that day. That's hard for me on some of those busy days. I think that I try more to focus on, okay, I'm going to send out, I try to add 5 to 10 people in my network that day. And then I try to send out, I try to post 3 times a day as a minimum. I usually go over that. Mm-hmm. But, and then I try to follow up with at least 1 to 2 people, because the follow-up part for me is really hard. So, because it's time consuming with the conversation. So right now, that's what my goal is. I can definitely, there's some days where I follow up with 4 people and I'm having conversations going, and because I might have a little more time that day. But a minimum of, okay, I need to work on this 30 minutes a day, and how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to send out the 3 posts a day. I'm going to send out 3 invites a day, and then I'm going to make sure that I follow up with 1 to 2 people that I had already sent out invites to.
Excellent. So how many times, and this is just curiosity, how many times are you following up with somebody before you kind of put them to the wayside? So in other words, you invite somebody, they say, yes, I might be interested, and then you give them more information and then you get crickets. Are you able to re-engage them, or are you putting them down and saying, are you then sending them a message saying, okay, it sounds like now is not a good time. Should I contact you in a few months? Or are you how are you handling it?
Well, I've had a couple people that have just not responded. Mostly everybody that I have been talking to, or, that are kind of like, oh, I'm on the fence about it. I have ongoing conversations with them, and they're trying all these other things beforehand, which I totally understand, because that was me. Mm-hmm. I follow up with them every couple of weeks, hey, just to check in and say, hey, how are you doing? How are things going? What's your plan? And then I usually will plug in, like, I'll give them some kind of piece of advice, like, oh, okay, hey, did you know that this can do this? Or how, what can I offer you for help? What kind of questions do you need? Because, this program that I have, and then I usually, that's how my segue into that.
Yeah.
The few people that I've had that don't comment or don't reply back to me, it depends. Sometimes I'll have a really great conversation, and all of a sudden the conversation is like crickets. I usually will wait because sometimes it's just such an odd ending. Like I found that, like, they just stop talking, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so, I'll send up a follow-up, hey, how's it going? I just wanted to check in, last time we talked, and I usually will go back and, refer to something that we had talked about. If I had sent an invite to somebody and they don't respond at all, those ones are the ones that I kind of like, okay, well, maybe they're just not interested. Maybe, those are the ones that I kind of wait. And if they like another photo again, I'll be like, okay, so or if they'll comment on a photo. I've had a few people who, liked a lot of photos, sent an invite to, and then they don't say anything. And then all of a sudden, now they're commenting on my pictures, or my posts. And I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe they are engaged. They're just not really ready to have that conversation. So some of the things some people I've also had to have conversations with in the comments, and they won't reply necessarily to private messages. So that is a newer problem that I've had, but I'm getting there and I'm navigating it a little bit. And it's kind of a guessing game right now sometimes, but
yes. Well, and you have to, I've found that you have to give them more than one option to communicate with you. So that's why if you've seen some of my posts, I've been leaving my email address lately.
I saw that. Yep.
I've had people contact me through the email that never responded to me sending them a private message. Some people don't have Messenger on their phone, but they have email on their phone, so it's easier for them to respond through email. I've started doing that to give them the other option, and I've been getting more emails from people that they commented or they liked a post, so I would send them an invite in private message and get nothing from them, but now I'm getting emails from them. So that's one reason that I've added it. But and next week, if you've noticed my post the last 2 weeks, I've been posting about my group that starts tomorrow.
Right.
Next week, I'll spend the next 2 weeks talking about the coaching opportunity, and I'll be including a WooFoo form for them to fill out. If you go to www.wufoo.com, you can set up a free form. Super easy to just drag and drop things that you want them to answer. And that way you know a little bit more about somebody that might be interested in a coaching opportunity. You can also do it for a challenge group as well. But you find out a little bit more about them for the coaching aspect before you spend a lot of time on them, so to say. So you'll see that form a lot in the post for the next 2 weeks. Because I'm trying to schedule my posts more so that another way to be consistent, so that I make sure I'm inviting daily to either, right now the accountability group, and then next week will be the coaching opportunity. Just to get myself in a schedule and a rhythm, and doing it different time, doing the invite different times of the day, so that you reach different people. So that I've found that to be helpful too. But you have a lot of fantastic information, Nicole. And if you want to snap a picture of your form that you use, I think that would be really helpful. And I do know that, I forget there's an app that's linked with Google Mail, with Gmail. I called it Google Mail. There's an app that's linked to Gmail that will send you an email alert when you have to sign up, when you have to follow up with somebody. But again, I don't use email enough for that to have been helpful. And you may or may not have seen an ad for Teamzy on Instagram or Facebook. I checked it out. You can do 30 days free, but it's really intensive to set it up, and it doesn't sync with Facebook. So like if you message somebody on Facebook, that message doesn't sync with Teamsy. You have to like input the note into Teamsy. So it's kind of extra. I felt like it was an extra step. And it was making what I was doing already more complicated.
Okay.
Now, if I had somebody else to go in and set it up for me, maybe it would have been easier. But it imported my list of Facebook friends into Teamsy, and then it was like, all right, now rate each person based off of whether you think that they're a potential client or coach. And I was like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I didn't dive into it because, quite frankly, I didn't have the time to to bother with it. But I like my spreadsheet. I do highlights like you do. I use Excel as opposed to Google Docs, but I have it saved into my Dropbox, so I can also pull it up from my phone as well, and just sync that way. But yeah, it's super helpful. I wish you were coming to Nashville with me, because I know that you get a ton from it, but I know you're going to get a ton from it, even just being on the sidelines, and you'll be there next year, so it's fine. Yes, so fabulous. Great job. I will post this to the team page in the morning. Did you have any other comments?
I don't think so. I am trying to figure out, so should I just, like, in order to do a screenshot, should I screenshot it? Because it has people's names and stuff on it. Is that okay? Or?
Yeah, no, just screenshot it. Nobody on the team's going to steal. We're certain it's not going to be posted public.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it will just be in the team page. Share it in the team page, so that way they can at least, maybe just do the top column, the top row, and then a couple rows below it, just so that we see, okay, these are the the rows the columns that you have. Here's what you're putting in each row. Just a few rows, just so we see the system.
Right.
Because some coaches do spreadsheets like you and I do. Some coaches are old school and they do paper and pen. Other
wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing paper and pen, because I'm like, I would not bring my notebook everywhere. And I do a lot of the work on my phone, and I couldn't imagine having to carry around a notebook too, to keep track of something like that.
Yeah.
And some coaches use the Teamsy or the Gmail app. I can't even think of what it's called now. But yeah, you just have to find a system that works for you, and it will help you stay, consistent. So I'm super psyched that you have found one that works for you, and that you're just plugging away, being consistent. So that's really awesome. And I will let you go, and I will finish, like I said, when I'll post this in the morning, because it takes a few hours for it to finalize. Thank you for sharing, and I look forward to team call next Thursday. We'll do another team call next Thursday, and then the following Thursday I'll be at Summit. So you may get a live, obnoxious group, a video from me live in Nashville doing something crazy. So all right, lady. Well, have a great night, and
you too.
See you soon.
All right, thanks.
Yep. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.